Hey, I know the audio is really bad, but just bear with it just for this video. Soon I'll probably fix it. But the reason for this is because I'm in NixOS, which is a Linux distribution in my machine. So I'm not in my normal operating system right now. I'm in a Linux operating system, which is usually normally fine, but for some reason it messed up my audio while I'm doing it. While I'm doing this thing, it's kind of strange. I don't really know what the fix is. I'll fix it eventually. But the thing is, I've been running NixOS for about a week, and I'm still at the bare bone basics. I'm like really trying to learn NixOS before I like change the desktop wallpaper, change anything so much. I chose the Cinnamon desktop environment in the beginning, and now I'm trying to just learn the Nix ways. The reason why NixOS is a little bit different than most systems is because it has a totally different way of dealing with packages. I mean, I thought Arch was like a little bit difficult in the beginning, but then it was just, the learning curve for Arch goes like this, like it just goes like this. It's just this. Like once you understand how to use the wiki, there, you're done. You're done with the whole learning process. The wiki is so awesome. The Arch wiki is just absolutely amazing. Here, the Nix wiki it's kind of lackluster. Let's honestly see the um let's see the Nix wiki. All right, it's pretty lackluster. I mean, when you type in Nix wiki, the first thing that comes up is an Arch page for Nix on the Arch wiki. That's kind of funny. That's kind of Listen, man. Look, it happens, right? Look, this is the Nix wiki. It's there. The manuals are so confusing. Like, I mean, I tried reading through them. I got through like upgrading NixOS, and then upgrading NixOS got me kind of confused because it's like these systems are just like these names for the command line interface is just not really good. Okay, like the first one, I guess, NixOS rebuild switch kind of makes sense. Okay, you rebuild the system and then you switch, but a lot of these things they just don't make sense. So I mean, like, there's a lot of weird things, like you have to give a profile for it to get system generations, which is just a whole different mess. And if you're just a single user, like system generations, you just have to type a lot of nonsense to take care of it, where I mean they should really make better commands for that. But hey, man, I don't know how hard it is to make an operating system, so like I can't really comment on it. All I do know is I'm learning NixOS, and the main reason I'm learning NixOS is because eventually, eventually after you learn all this stuff, you should be able to have a reproducible system. So like if I have ADHD, which in this case stands for annoying distro hopping disease, then I can hop for a little bit, come back, and then just boot up into relatively the same system like where I left off. As long as I've got the configuration file and all my home manager files saved on GitHub or stored somewhere securely, I should be able to get back relatively fast, which is why, like, one of the main reasons I got into this. So like I'll show you guys my configuration file right now. It's all right, it's like it's lackluster. It's beginning sort of beginning stuff, right? Let's go to etc NixOS. I haven't changed like the location and stuff. I know you can do that, but this is it. This is the main first thing I did was allow unfree stuff, because like it's hard to run a Linux distribution, especially if you're on NVIDIA, without unfree stuff. So I needed it unfree stuff to run NVIDIA. So I can't be totally open source. I wish there was like a timeline in which I could run completely open source stuff, but a lot of the main things, a lot of the cool stuff you need to get is actually closed source, so you need to allow unfree if you're trying to have like a very productive, at least semi-productive system. And then of course I've got all these environment packages, and this is what I was talking about with reproducible. As soon as I run this configuration file, it's going to install or update any of these things. So if I don't have them on my system, it would go and it would update this. It would get NeoVim, it would get the DoomEmax stuff. I will have to install DoomEmax myself, unless I have like another Flake or something. I think Flakes also allow you to create and use GitHub and stuff. Lots of advanced stuff I haven't really learned. So that's why I'm trying to get the hang of this. But then there's just some things that NixOS doesn't really... It's really confusing, right? But I'm documenting this. I'm putting this on YouTube because I want to, you know, show, like, I'm a relative beginner. I want to show if I do advance, how long it takes, if I learn stuff about it, you know. And I'm also putting this video up there for anybody to comment and fix it, like, you know, tell me things I could fix and do better. Is like using the configuration file the best way to do this. Another thing I should probably mention is some of the stuff that I've, you know, come to understand. So the first thing is package managing, like Nix. You know, I never use nix.env. Like, I mean, this I think is just for stuff that you're not going to keep so much. So I think if we do this q, you can see I have no packages there. All the packages I have are in my basic configuration. So that's all the packages I have. What else did I need to say? I need to quickly say that, yeah, I've rebuilt this multiple times. Another glitch I've noticed, a lot of Electron apps don't seem to work on NixOS. I say a lot, but I've only really tested one. Like Nuclear, I've tested it. It doesn't work for some reason, but it does work with the no sandbox tag. What's that? What's that about? Is there like another package you need to run with NixOS? Another thing is if you try and run app images or whatever, you need a whole different package for that. I think I just had in my it did load my last thing, so I think I had a package right here called app image run. You'll see right here, app image run. See, I need to get this whole separate image. It's marked in the essentials thing because I think it's pretty essential to have a thing to run app image. So now I can go to an app image and run it directly from there. So like if we go to CD downloads, I think I have one app image in here. The thing I was testing, Nuclear, if we do app image run Nuclear this, we'll see it doesn't really work because, you know, we're screwed. Like I mean, I just don't understand it. It gives us like an error about GPU. I don't know if that has anything to do with my NVIDIA card. It's kind of concerning, but I've decided just to ignore it because everything else works fine. You know, the NVIDIA installation seems to have fixed a lot of screen tearing and things, so that's been relatively fine. I haven't tried it with Firefox. Firefox is usually like extremely glitchy and unpredictable when it on Linux. For some reason it works wonders on Windows, but on Linux, Firefox, which I thought it would work better on because, you know, it's open source and like the Linux community can go ham with that open source and just make it amazing or whatever. It works pretty bad. It glitches a lot, especially in Arch Linux and window managers. It's just a pain. It's a pain to run Firefox, which is why I've defaulted to Brave. I would probably use, what's it called, Firefox, but I've defaulted to Brave in this case because Brave's just giving me less problems. And you can see I've been learning some Nix videos, you know, 1 hour into this thing, which is taking a few days, but I'm also a bit into this guy's series as well. It's pretty confusing, you know, like I thought, you know, it's been a week. I thought I'd get through all of it, but like it takes time to just sit and like understand this stuff. It's because like you could watch it and you could gloss over it and you'd be like, okay, I kind of know the command, but like you just really don't really understand it because the stuff is like the syntax and everything for this is pretty confusing, which maybe, you know, I'm being a bit judgmental and like later on in the line it becomes way easier. We'll see. That's why I'm documenting this. We'll see how Nix is to learn. So this is like the first part, and then I'll have another one which you will see maybe my mic is fixed, maybe I've done things. And if you do know how to fix that stuff, comment and put it in the comments, and we could talk about it. We could discuss NixOS. We could talk about your experiences with it. You know, what you think about NixOS. Tell me everything. Even if you're not running NixOS anymore, tell me why you stopped and all that stuff. I would love to know. So that's basically it. That's basically where we've left off. Me learning NixOS. Oh yeah, also I should probably mention using ChatGPT here. If you go to ChatGPT, I have like one chat, and it's just all about NixOS. It's just all me trying to run errors with NixOS, because NixOS is relatively new. So because it's relatively new, there hasn't been that many I need to go back to my YouTube video because I'm planning on watching that eventually. But because it's relatively new, there hasn't been that many documentation. There hasn't been that many like ArchWiki. You could search something up. You could go to the Arco Discord server and they'll answer you so fast. I've tried the Nix Discord server. They take time. Sometimes you could have something done and it's just going to stay there forever unanswered on the Nix Discord, and that's just the way you have to live with it. But on Arco, it's a whole different story. That community is insane. That's why I've been running Arco for a long time, but I'm finally trying NixOS, you know. And one of the main reasons I'm trying NixOS, you know, it could be like a dumb reason to try NixOS, but one of the main reasons is because, let me launch Discord here, is because a person I think highly of, a person is pretty insane, right? Like the software you just saw me use, software you literally just saw me use. If we go to their Discord, we go to and we go to the member list right here, we can see the creator of DoomyMax, Henrik himself, uses NixOS. NixOS. That was the final blow. You know, I had heard like some rumors here and there about NixOS being great, but that was the final blow. I was like, all right, this guy, you know, he made a software so, like, you know, it's so user friendly, so easy to get into. Like I used DoomyMax and like everything, all these comments, everything made it was so simple. It was so simple to use, even though it's so complex and can do so much. But yet it presented itself in such a nice, direct way. So I assumed, you know, maybe he's using that operating system. It has to be kind of okay. So I'm trying it out, you know, like, it's fine if we have different opinions, you know, like, there's not one single great distribution, but, you know, Nix has been the hype thing. It's been hyped so far. So we're going to see how this hype goes down. And I'm not doing like a simple review. This is like over weeks. So this is the first week. This is the end of the first week. This is how far I've gotten. This is it. You know, I haven't gotten super far. Am I impressed with how easy it is? No. You know, the one takeaway I guess I got from NixOS right now is just knowing that Cinnamon is such a reliable desktop. It's just so easy and simply easy. It's simply easy and reliable. You can rely on it to not lie to you. It won't lie to you. That's all I can say. It's just a good distribution. It won't lag. It does things super simply. So I like Cinnamon. That's why I chose Cinnamon instead of GNOME. It's very simple. It's very nice. But we'll see. Let me know in the comments. What do you think about NixOS? Is it great? I didn't really go over all the package stuff. Maybe I'll go over all the package stuff in the next video if you would like to know. You know, if whatever I've learned, which isn't even that much, because the NixOS is a slow learning process. Anyway, bye.